Hey everyone, this is Tim Dial, and just wanted to put this short video together to give you an update on a program that we've used a couple of times in my office here, and it's really incredible. I've used several different down payment assistance programs over the last couple of years, and this one is probably the one that's the best as far as having the customer bring less cash to closing. Matter of fact, the two closings I've done on it so far have resulted in the customers getting money back at the closing. In one case, the customer got all of the money back that he put into the transaction. For instance, he paid for an appraisal up front, which was $600, and he put $1,000 earnest money deposit on the property when he wrote the contract, and he got the entire $1,600 back at the closing. Additionally, we had extra funds left over, and we were able to get him a 2-year warranty at on the day of the closing that was not originally in the contract. So, and part of that was because of the way the down payment assistance program is structured, but also part of it was that we were getting seller to cover some of the closing costs. And it's always important right now. Right now, it is a buyer's market, and that's partially due to the rates being a bit higher. There are less buyers on the market right now. And so when sellers are trying to sell their homes, it's taking them longer to sell. And as a result, they're more willing to negotiate both on price and on paying closing costs. So that's a lot of what's going on right now in the market. So in this particular situation, the seller was covering some of the closing costs. And the way this down payment assistance program is structured is they give you 5% to go toward down payment and costs. The FHA down payment is 3.5%. So you get the extra 1.5% to go toward closing costs. So, just as an example, let's say you're buying a house, it's like $300,000. Then you're going to have an extra $4,500 to go toward closing costs, in addition to whatever you can get the seller to cover. And so that's why we ended up with extra funds. Now, the other part of this is normally a lot of the down payment assistance programs have higher closing costs than normal. This one doesn't really seem to have that issue. So that's a big bonus as well, is that the closing costs are pretty normal as far as that goes. And so if you can get the seller to cover some, you've got the extra 1.5%, and then you end up not having to bring anything to closing or even get money back at the closing. That's kind of the idea. So that's the beauty of the program. And what they do is they give you the 5%, but then they're going to put a 5% second mortgage on your house. And that second mortgage you pay back over like 15, 20 years, whatever. It doesn't really matter what the time frame is, because most people buying right now, just about everybody buying right now, will be refinancing within about a year, 2 years max, but probably within about a year they'll be refinancing. And when you refinance, you'll be able to basically combine those into one and get rid of that second mortgage, because you'll just have one new first mortgage at a lower interest rate and a much lower payment. That's the idea. So anyway, that's kind of the way it works. They do put the second mortgage on there. So usually a payment's going to be like $100 or something on the second mortgage. So instead of paying, just as an example, let's say you're going to buy a $300,000 house, like our previous example. On a $300,000 house, your down payment would normally be over $10,000 that you have to come out of pocket. But with this down payment assistance program, you don't have to do that. So instead, you're going to be paying like $100 a month for the down payment, instead of having to come up with that huge amount at the closing. And then, like I said, within a year or so, you refinance it, lower the payment significantly, and then you've gotten into a house with almost nothing out of pocket, and then you start benefiting from the equity increases over time. And we know right now prices have been pretty much stable, or sometimes even dropping slightly because of the rates and because of the way the market is. But as soon as those rates come down, and we know they're going to, as soon as they come down and they drop down below like 5%, which I think will happen within the next year. Once that happens, and even before that happens, as they're dropping, we're going to see those prices start to go up as more and more buyers come on the market. That extra demand is going to cause those prices to go up. And then the people who are buying now are going to benefit from that huge equity gain. So that's where the market is right now. But this program, it's called, or the lender who has this program, it's called LendingPros, and because we are a wholesale broker, they give us wholesale pricing on all of their products, including their down payment assistance program, and that's where we get it from. And so far, like I've used a lot of different down payment assistance programs. I even have a down payment assistance grant that I've used. The down payment assistance grant is great, but the problem with it is the closing costs are quite a bit higher than a normal loan. So there are some pluses and minuses, and every situation is different. But this just gives us another option to help people get into a house with less funds out of pocket. And it's been really great for people who have, if you only have like $1,000 in the bank or a couple $1,000 in the bank. This is a great tool to use to get into a house. A lot of people think they need like 5 or 10,000 in some cases to get into a house, and that's just not the case when there are programs like this available. So anyway, I wanted to cover that really quickly. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm available by phone. That's my office phone number that you see on the screen. And my mobile phone number is 615-995-2615. And then also you can feel free to email me at tdial@nexamortgage.com. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks. Bye.